Babe. When love is real, you feel it every day, not just in the dramatic moments, not just in the celebrations or the late-night confessions, but in the quiet spaces between heartbeats, in the ordinary mornings when the sun rises softly and the world feels calm, in the simple way your name appears in my thoughts before I even open my eyes. And I used to wonder if love like this truly existed or if it was just something people wrote about when they wanted to believe in magic, but then you came into my life without noise, without pressure, just a steady presence that slowly turned into something powerful, something unshakable, something that did not need constant proof because it proved itself in consistency. And I remember the first time I realized that what I felt for you was different. It was not just excitement or attraction, it was peace. It was the kind of calm that settles deep in your chest and tells you that you are safe, that you are understood, that you are home, and babe, that feeling has never left me. It has only grown stronger with time, with shared laughter, with honest conversations, with the way we learned each other's fears and chose to protect them instead of using them, and real. Love is not loud every day, it does not always arrive with fireworks, sometimes it arrives with patience, with forgiveness, with choosing to stay even when pride tells you to walk away, and I have felt that choice in my heart again and again. The decision to nurture what we have instead of letting temporary emotions control something permanent, because what we share is not fragile, it is resilient, it bends but it does not break, it listens instead of attacking, it heals instead of harming, and there were days in my past when I doubted my ability to love deeply, when I believed that vulnerability would only lead to disappointment. But loving you has shown me that vulnerability is strength, that opening your heart to someone who values it is not weakness but courage, and every day I wake up with gratitude for the way you encourage me, for the way you see potential in me even when I struggle to see it myself, for the way your words lift me when life feels heavy. And I want you to know that your presence in my life is not taken lightly, it is honored, it is cherished, it is respected, because love that is real becomes a blessing that transforms both people involved. It makes you want to improve, to grow, to become a better version of yourself, not out of fear of losing the other person but out of appreciation for having them. And I have grown with you. I have learned patience with you. I have learned how to listen without preparing a defense, how to understand without assuming, how to value unity over ego, and that is powerful, that is rare, that is the kind of love that builds foundations instead of temporary excitement, and babe, when love is real you feel it every day in the small gestures. In the way we check on each other, in the way we celebrate each other's progress, in the way we support each other's dreams, and I have seen your dreams, I have seen the fire in your eyes when you talk about the future, and I want to be part of that future not as a spectator but as a partner, as someone who stands beside you through success and through struggle, through clarity and through confusion. Because real love does not disappear when life becomes complicated, it adapts, it strengthens. It communicates, it forgives, and there will always be moments when we are tired, when responsibilities feel overwhelming, when misunderstandings arise, but the beauty of what we have is that even in those moments there is still a thread of connection that pulls us back together. A reminder that we are not enemies but allies, not competitors but companions, and I feel blessed that we have chosen each other in a world where so many people give up at the first sign of difficulty, because staying requires strength, staying requires faith, staying requires belief in something greater than temporary feelings, and I believe in us. I believe in the life we are building, conversation by conversation, effort by effort, and I want our love to be the kind that ages gracefully, that deepens instead of fading, that becomes wiser with time, that looks back at obstacles and smiles because they only made us stronger, and when I think about the days ahead, I do not imagine perfection. I imagine partnership. I imagine two imperfect hearts learning and growing together, choosing respect over reaction, choosing loyalty over impulse, choosing understanding over assumptions, and that choice is something I feel every single day. It is not forced, it is natural, it is rooted in the truth that you matter to me in a way that cannot be replaced, and I want you to feel secure in that. To feel confident that my love is not conditional on mood or convenience, it is anchored in intention, in commitment, in appreciation for who you are at your core, and you have shown me kindness in moments when I did not deserve it, patience in moments when I was learning, encouragement in moments when I was doubting. And those acts are not forgotten. They are stored in my heart as reminders of why what we share is sacred, and real love does not only comfort you, it challenges you to rise higher, to break old patterns, to become disciplined in your goals, to align your actions with your values, and loving you has made me more focused, more driven, more aware of the kind of future I want to create, not just for myself but for us. And that future is filled with mutual respect, shared ambition, emotional safety, and unwavering loyalty, and babe, I want to keep building that with you day by day, not rushing the process but honoring it, understanding that strong foundations take time, communication, and consistent effort, and when I say that real love is felt every day, I mean it is felt in the quiet reassurance that we are on the same team, in the comfort of knowing that even if the world feels chaotic, there is stability between us, in the confidence that we can face challenges without turning against each other, and I am grateful for the way you inspire me, for the way you push me gently toward growth, for the way your belief in me strengthens my own belief, and I hope you feel that same support from me. I hope you feel seen, heard, valued, protected, and appreciated, because that is what you deserve, and as we continue writing our story, I want it to be a story of resilience, of blessings, of daily gratitude, of choosing each other not just in excitement but in responsibility, not just in romance but in real life, and I know that feelings can change when they are built on surface-level attraction, but what we have goes deeper. It is built on friendship, on trust, on shared values, on honest communication, and those are the roots that keep love alive through seasons, and I promise to keep watering those roots, to keep investing time, energy, and sincerity into what we share, because I recognize its worth, and I recognize yours, and babe, When love is real, you feel it every day in the quiet confidence that you are not alone, in the steady rhythm of two hearts aligned. In the gentle certainty that no matter what tomorrow brings, there is someone walking beside you who chooses you intentionally, faithfully, and wholeheartedly, and that is what I choose, every single day, with gratitude in my heart and determination in my spirit, to protect, to nurture, to honor, and to cherish this love that feels like a blessing, like a miracle, like a powerful force guiding us toward a future filled with growth, strength, unity, and endless emotional depth. And as long as we continue to choose each other with honesty and courage, I know that what we have will not only survive but flourish, because real love, the kind that is rooted in respect and strengthened by effort, does not fade with time. It expands, it transforms, it becomes a foundation so strong that even life's greatest storms cannot shake it, and that is the kind of love I feel with you every day, steady, powerful, emotional, life-changing, and beautifully real. Babe. When love is real, you feel it every day, and as time moves forward I feel it not as a sudden rush but as a steady current flowing through everything I do, in the way I plan my future with your presence already included, in the way I measure success not only by achievements but by the peace we maintain between us. And I want to tell you a story of how I truly understood the depth of what we share. Because there was a season when life tested me quietly, when responsibilities grew heavier, when expectations felt louder than my own inner voice, and I remember sitting alone one evening thinking about all the pressure, all the uncertainty, and in that moment your message appeared, simple words. Nothing dramatic, just asking if I had eaten and reminding me to rest, and something about that small gesture broke through the noise in my mind, because real love is often hidden in those ordinary check-ins, in those consistent acts of care that do not demand applause, and I realized then that what we have is not built on grand promises but on daily devotion. And daily devotion is powerful because it survives beyond emotion. It survives beyond mood, it survives beyond temporary excitement, and I started noticing how your support changed me from the inside, how your belief in my potential made me take my own goals more seriously, how your calm presence helped me think clearly instead of reacting emotionally. And babe, that is when I understood that love is not only about feeling good, it is about becoming better, and you have made me better in ways that even I did not expect. You have taught me patience when I wanted quick results, you have shown me understanding when I was defensive, you have offered forgiveness when I was still learning, and those blessings are not small, they are life-shaping. They are the kind of gifts that transform character, and I carry gratitude for that every day, because not everyone is fortunate enough to experience a love that grows with them instead of controlling them, and as our journey continues I see how we both have evolved, how our conversations have become deeper, how our disagreements have become more respectful, how our dreams have started aligning naturally, and that alignment is not accidental, it is built through honesty, through listening, through making space for each other's growth, and I want you to know that I do not see our future as something distant, I see it as something we are already creating with each decision, each compromise, each moment of encouragement. And there will always be challenges, because no meaningful path is without obstacles, but I do not fear those challenges when I think of us, because I have seen how we handle pressure, how we choose communication over silence, how we return to each other even after misunderstandings. And that return is a sign of strength. It is proof that our foundation is solid, and babe, I promise to continue nurturing that foundation with intention, to guard it against negativity, to protect it from pride, to water it with appreciation and respect, because love that is real deserves effort, and effort is something I am willing to give fully, consistently, wholeheartedly. And I also want to remind you of your own strength, of the way you carry responsibilities without complaining, of the way you chase your dreams even when progress feels slow, of the way you love with sincerity and depth, and sometimes you may not see how extraordinary you are, but I see it clearly. I see the discipline behind your ambition, the kindness behind your confidence, the resilience behind your smile, and I feel blessed to stand beside someone who embodies those qualities. And as we continue building our story, I want it to be filled with mutual growth, with shared victories, with lessons learned together, with moments where we pause and appreciate how far we have come, because real love is not rushed. It is cultivated patiently, it matures over time. It becomes wiser through experience, and I want us to age gracefully, together in our mindset, in our communication, in our understanding, and when I imagine years passing, I imagine us looking back at these early chapters with gratitude, remembering how we chose commitment when walking away would have been easier. How we chose growth when comfort tried to keep us stagnant, how we chose unity when ego tempted division, and those choices are what make a love story powerful, not the absence of conflict but the presence of perseverance. And babe, when love is real you feel it every day in the trust that builds quietly, in the comfort that deepens steadily, in the hope that strengthens continuously, and I feel that trust with you. I feel that comfort, I feel that hope, and it motivates me to become a stronger partner, a more patient listener, a more disciplined individual, because I want to match the energy you bring into my life. I want to contribute equally to the blessing we are creating, and as we move forward I promise to keep choosing you intentionally, to keep communicating openly, to keep appreciating sincerely, to keep supporting faithfully, because love that lasts is love that is practiced daily, and I practice loving you not only in words but in actions, in consistency, in loyalty, in the quiet determination to protect what we have built, and no matter what tomorrow holds, no matter what challenges or opportunities arise, I know that as long as we continue to stand together with respect and courage, our love will remain a powerful force, a guiding light, a daily blessing that reminds us both that when love is real, it does not fade with time, it grows deeper, stronger, and more beautiful with every single day we choose each other. When love is real you feel it every day, and now as I sit and reflect on everything we have shared, I realize that what makes our love powerful is not just the way we hold each other in happy moments but the way we refuse to let go in uncertain ones, because there was a time not long ago when life tried to distract us with noise, with responsibilities pulling us in different directions, with moments of exhaustion where silence felt easier than conversation, and yet even in that season I felt your presence like a quiet anchor in my spirit, reminding me that no matter how busy the world becomes, our connection remains steady. And I remember one particular night when everything felt overwhelming. When doubts about the future tried to creep into my mind, when I questioned whether I was strong enough to carry all the goals I had set for myself, and in that fragile space I thought about you, about your unwavering belief in us, about the calm confidence you bring into my life, and suddenly the fear lost its power, because real love does not remove challenges, it strengthens you to face them, and loving you has made me braver, more disciplined, more focused, not because you demanded it but because your presence inspires it naturally, and that inspiration is a blessing I never take for granted, because not everyone finds someone who encourages growth without controlling it, someone who supports ambition without feeling threatened by it. Someone who celebrates progress without competition, and you have done that for me again and again, quietly, consistently, sincerely, and babe, I want to return that energy to you every single day. I want to be the voice that reminds you of your greatness when you forget, the hand that steadies you when you feel uncertain, the heart that chooses patience when emotions run high, because love that is real is not reactive. It is intentional, it pauses before speaking, it listens before judging, it forgives before resentment can grow, and I have learned that with you. I have learned that protecting our peace is more important than winning arguments, that understanding your perspective matters more than proving my point. That unity is stronger than ego, and those lessons are shaping me into a better partner and a better person, and when I think about the future we are creating, I do not see it as something fragile that could disappear overnight. I see it as something rooted deeply in shared respect, in honest communication, in mutual effort, and those roots give me confidence. Because storms may shake branches but they cannot destroy a tree whose foundation is strong, and our foundation is built on trust, on